The global average COVID-19 infection rate has slowed markedly over the last number of weeks, although there's significant variation between countries. This, along with substantial monetary policy and fiscal policy support, is expected to help the global economy stage a recovery from the latter half of this year. Similarly, in South Africa, the economy is expected to lift in the second half of 2020 from its very depressed base in the second quarter, partly supported by the government's COVID macroeconomic support package of up to 500 billion rand, or 10% of GDP. Although this includes 130 billion rand of reprioritized spending, which does not add directly to demand, it does include 100 billion rands of job protection measures and 70 billion rands worth of tax incentives and deferrals. Further, government's guaranteed loan scheme of up to 200 billion rand through the banks for firms earning up to 300 million rand in turnover per year, given certain conditions that must be met, is especially important. The reason for this is that although the Reserve Bank has cut interest rates aggressively, it may be pushing on a string. After all, future income streams are highly uncertain. As the economy opens up again, COVID-19 infection rates, for example, could spike. Confidence levels also remain depressed, and this is an environment within which banks may not be particularly willing to lend, but the guarantee on the loan scheme should help with that. Can the Reserve Bank cut interest rates further? After all, we expect real GDP to contract by up to 8% this year, and at the same time we expect nominal GDP to decline outright as well, along with private sector credit extension. That's an environment within which one could build an argument for a deeply negative real interest rate. However, the bank may be reticent to cut too much further, and one of the key reasons for that is the steepness of the yield curve. High long-term real interest rates are an indication of an unsustainable fiscal policy. When the National Treasury reads the special appropriation budget in June this year, it will have to ensure that it shows a credible path back to fiscal consolidation, including how we're going to fix state-owned companies and also how we are going to rein in consumption spending, which has been at the heart of government's fiscal underperformance in recent years. Its move has been extreme in recent months, and one of the concerns is that one of the usual instruments that we have to stabilize the currency if it becomes too weak, namely raising interest rates as inflation expectations increase, is not available to us at this point in time. However, at least given the extreme nature of the currency's decline over the last few months relative to its history, we argue that it is now substantially undervalued. Inflation expectations also remain well anchored, and also the trade account has improved quite markedly in the last few months due to an improvement in the terms of trade. These latter factors should help lend support to the currency, but it remains imperative that we begin to show a clear path back to fiscal consolidation, especially given the dearth in foreign capital inflows.